ANC. From left is our provincial treasurer, Morakani Musupye, the chairperson of the ANC, Comrade Panyaza Lesufi, the provincial secretary of the ANC, Comrade Tembinkosi TK Ngeza,
Lionel,
the deputy chair, Lionel, Police Majombos, the deputy provincial chair of the ANC, Comrade Nomantung Komorale Hoko. These are the officials of the ANC. This is just a briefing on the post the special PEC meeting that was held yesterday, just to brief the media on the deliberations of the provincial executive committee. I will hand over to the provincial secretary, and then we can start with the briefing. Thank you very much, Comrade Secretary.
Thank you very much, Comrade Lesufi. Makubela,
Simba,
Comrade Simba. Greetings to the members of the media and the viewers at home. This is a media briefing from the African National Congress in Gauteng. The African National Congress Gauteng Provincial Executive Committee received and accepted a formal resignation from Comrade David Makhura. The resignation initiated by Comrade David Makhura, informed by the desire to facilitate a smooth transition. In addition to this, Comrade David Makhura also wishes to allow a newly elected provincial leadership space to run and campaign towards 2024 general elections. Comrade Makhura has served as a Premier of Gauteng since 2014. During this time, Gauteng Provincial became the symbol of socio-economic transformation and clean governance, with poor of the poor and the poor being primary beneficiaries of the developmental program that brought about meaningful change. The township and the support for agricultural program have gone a long way in facilitating of the historical injustice that express spiritual and economically. These developments have had a major socio-economic benefit with regards to decent employment and economic inclusion. Comrade David Makhura championed and implemented a special economic zones, which are the key contributors to the economic developments in Gauteng. Special economic zones are grown, emerge towards government strategic objectives of the industrialization, regional development and employment creation. On the same token, Comrade Makhura led Gauteng Provincial under extreme difficult circumstances. Specifically, the province was significantly affected by COVID-19 global pandemic that devastated the communities and claimed the lives of thousands of our people in our country. The pandemic had an impact on the national economy, and through the decisive leadership of Comrade David Makhura, who led and dedicated collective of capable MECs, the people of Gauteng and the province are on the path of recovery and growth. This is evident by statistics of South Africa indicating that the country's growth and domestic product expedited on 1.9% in the first quarter of 2022, representing the second consecutive quarter of upwards growth. The Gauteng province has seen one of the biggest growth with its province and economic prior to the pandemic levels. As the chairperson of the Gauteng since 2018, Comrade David Makhura worked tirelessly to strengthen and rebuild the organization. The organization has faced internal and external challenges that implicated the electoral performance. Despite this, the organization continues to maintain the majority support in our communities. This is not an accident of history, but a direct consequence of Comrade David Makhura's study in leading the organization in the province. As we inch towards 2024 general elections, we wish we are confident that the foundation laid by Comrade David Makhura will enable us to build a stronger campaign to gear up towards reclaiming the ANC hegemony in the province. The father of our democracy, Comrade Nelson Mandela, once said, "A real leader uses a very same issue, no matter how serious and sensitive, to ensure that at the end of the debate, we should emerge stronger and more united than ever." In Comrade David Makhura, we had such a leader. As such, the PEC would like to take this moment to wish Comrade David Makhura, as well as he continues to work in the organization in our communities. To this end, the interviews that took place, Comrade Panyaza has been chosen as the premier candidate of the African National Congress in the province. Comrade Panyaza is the current chairperson of the ANC in the province and one of the longest MECs who has served as the leader of government business. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Papa.
No, thanks. I think I will allow the chair to, maybe it's very difficult for, you know, when you are a subject of a discussion to then speak in personal vein.
Indeed.
I will allow the other officials to then speak. The deputy chair is here, the secretary is here, the treasurer is also here. They will also be able to expound on the statement that was read by the provincial secretary. Imama?
I think we are happy with the work that Comrade David Makhura has done in the province since he has been our leader, and he has worked so well in the organization because he was the secretary of the provincial secretary of the ANC before he became the chairperson of the province. So all the things that he has done, even in government, in the 5th administration and the 6th administration, was still going to carry on and work and continue doing that, because he was not doing those things alone. There is a collective that he was representing, so which I think we're all happy, and we wish him well wherever he's going. He will definitely still be with us, by the way, working with us in the province, because he resides in our province. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Having been under the leadership of Comrade David Makhura in his capacity as the chairperson of the PEC and a member of his cabinet as MEC for social development, one can say without fear of doubt that he's one of the best deployees of the African National Congress in this province. He had a cunning, if I could use that word in a positive sense, way of balancing his responsibility as the chairperson and as a premier, and guiding us as members of his cabinet. So indeed, as the deputy chairperson has said, Comrade David Makhura is going to continue with his responsibility as a member of the African National Congress. He will be part of all the campaigns that we will be embarking on, and we hope that he will continue, working with us in the province. Particularly, he's ours. We love him, we own him, but we know that he's a child of the African National Congress broadly. So we wish him well on his endeavors, private ones, and politically as well. But he remains a child of the African National Congress. Thanks.
Thank you very much. The chair will also come in just to speak about his former boss.
Thank you so much, Comrade Simba. Let me also thank the Provincial Secretary for the statement read, and my comrades in the office bearer, Comrade Deputy Chair and the Provincial Treasurer. Comrades, it's extremely difficult. I think it's with mixed emotions that we just have to accept that Comrade David has submitted his resignation letter. It's a matter that we've been working around, and it's a matter that we've been trying to ensure that it does not create problems, not only for government, but also the African National Congress. And now that tomorrow his resignation will come into effect. I want to thank him from the bottom of our heart, the manner in which he conducted himself and the manner in which he has led us, both in government and also in the ANC. I had a privilege to be part of the delegation that elected Comrade David Makhura as the first president or the second president of the South African Student Congress. And I always say, I'm the only person that has been in any meeting that elected him in any position. When I was elected to be the president of South African Student Congress, I was there. When I was elected immediately after the unveiling to be a leader in the African National Congress Youth League, I was there. When he was elected to be in the interim structure of the ANC in Gauteng, I was there. When I was elected to be the provincial secretary, I was in that conference. When he was re-elected to be the provincial secretary, actually, I contested him. And he clobbered me. So I was there because he clobbered me. And when he took office, and not with any bad gesture, he dissolved 3 regional executive committee structures that I was part of. The first regional executive structure that was dissolved by the office of the provincial secretary in Gauteng was in the then Kyalami region. The Kyalami region at that time incorporated Ivory Park, Tembisa, Edenvale, and those areas. A new structure was established to find what we call Ekurhuleni, but at that time it was Far East. And I was elected the deputy regional secretary there. He dissolved that structure. Not him as an individual, but the PEC dissolved that structure. We then re-established what is known now as the Ekurhuleni region. I thought I was enough with dissolution. It was also dissolved. And then we went to the PEC and we elected him as the deputy chair. And then we then elected him as a chairperson. So Comrade David Makhura has been in my life 80% of my life, from my student days, youth days, ANC days, and government days. So when I say it's with mixed emotions, it's because he has been a pillar. David Makhura is a scholar. Comrades will tell you, we all look forward to his political address in the PEC. Will come with a different aspect. If you check policy documents of government ever since David Makhura came in, from growing Gauteng together strategy, the transformation, modernization, and reindustrialization strategy, if you take your time and read those documents, you'll concur with me when I say David Makhura is a scholar, was far ahead of us on all the issues. But as a leader, obviously, you'll attract negative statements. I think there have been many ever since he said he was resigning. But it's people who only read headlines, but they don't go deeper to read the reports and many other documents that are public documents. If you check the State of the Nation address document that he has delivered in the last 7 years or so, I worked closely with him when I was writing those speeches. He really respects South Africans. He researches, he writes those speeches, and he prepares thoroughly before he delivers those particular speeches. If you're in the legislature, I can ask the opposition, and I was surprised when I heard the leadership of the opposition raising other issues. Not even a question, if you can say, David Makhura, did you eat something this morning? You will not just say, I ate something. He will unpack how that food was prepared, who prepared it, the ingredients of that particular food, how tasty it was, that food, and all other things. That's how he takes the opposition serious. That's how he prepares, and will truly, truly miss him. And I must say, I've learned, and I'll continue to learn from his leadership style and all the issues that he has presented. I must be honest, I'm humbled that the African National Congress felt fit that I must be their candidate. This movement is a glorious movement that has gone through difficulties. It has gone through pain. It has also gone through insults. And for it to say, amongst all of us, we think you are the right person to represent us, it humbles me. And I accept that with humility, and I accept that with open mind and open hands. This is not something to celebrate, but it serves as a reminder that we need to do work. We need to serve our people, we need to protect our people, but most importantly, we need to ensure that this particular province can be a province of opportunities and can be a province that can attract talent. Good people, the number of young people that are leaving our country because of instability is shocking. The number of lawlessness, where people are even scared of their own shadows in their own houses, it's worrisome. The number of informal settlements, where children are playing with open sewer, it's worrisome. So if you are assigned to be the person that must go and execute that mission and change everything, it's not an easy task. But because we work as a collective, I'm humbled that we'll be equal to the task and will serve our people better. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chair. Nopala, before we take questions, the questions related to the Premier candidate will be directed to the Secretary and officials. The Chair will not speak in personal vein. Any other questions will be tackled by the leadership. Nopala?
No, I think Comrade Panyaza has summed him up. I mean, we've worked tirelessly in making sure that we have a smooth transition, which has shocked a lot of people, because generally people believe in an organization that is disruptive. And I think we want to thank Comrade David Makhura really for showing maturity and integrity, and thank the officials of the ANC for respecting his wish and for allowing Comrade Panyaza to take over and take us forward. And I think we would have made it clear in the caucus of the ANC today that there are going to be targets. We are going to work very hard in turning around the ship, and the ANC will serve our people. And under Comrade Panyaza, we really believe that there are going to be a lot of things that will be seen happening on the ground. Starting from tomorrow, we believe that there are serious milestones that are going to come with this particular leadership. We are looking forward to a number of things that will be done, led by Comrade Panyaza. Yeah, I don't want to say much. We just want to wait for the first speech of the Premier-elect to hear what he has to say. We've been working very hard behind the closed doors. Yeah. And we believe that starting from tomorrow, the people of Gauteng and the people of this country will really have confidence in this leadership. Yeah, let's allow questions.
Now I'm happy to see Kotazo coming in, because he likes breaking stories. Even when we tell him, no, that's not the story, he breaks it. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, he just writes. But thanks. I'm going to start with questions. I'm going to start with Samkelo will be the last, because if we take him first, hey, he's gonna ask everything. Yeah, I'll ask with the veteran journalist. Any other hands? Okay, then I'll go. Then there are two hands this side. Baba.
And Brian Sokoto from the Citizen. My question is, the ANC in the last national polls didn't really do that well. What is new that you're going to do this time to ensure that you really win the lost ground in voter support in the run-up to the 2024 elections?
Thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Ntebo. I'm with the SABC. I get a sense that there's a sense of loss that the former premier is now gone, although not lost to the process. Do you have any plan for him in the future, either in the province or nationally? And secondly, well, just an addition of what Good Friday said about the declining electoral support of the ANC. The chair, do you have any plan in terms of either resuscitating the ANC or resuscitating the confidence that people used to have in the ANC to see it differently as opposed to what they see it today? And maybe this question is mainly directed to the national ANC, but now that I have an opportunity to interact with you, I'm just interested in the pride of the ANC, the liberation movement that is over 110 years now, to be precise. Where's the pride of the ANC? And I'm saying this against the backdrop of, for instance, a political party like the EFF will call a press conference and lampoon the ANC's leadership and call it all sorts of names. You know, recently, its leader was saying the ANC died when Mandela was buried. But you go out and still see the EFF as one party that we work with to govern whatever municipalities. There are a number of provinces that are interested in working with the ANC. As an organization that is over 110 years, are you saying you will govern at all costs, regardless of whether you've been lampooned, whether you've been seen as a party that is steeped in corruption, a party that is dying a natural death? Where's your pride as the ANC?
No, thank you very much. There were two more hands this side.
Malita Tani from Newsroom Africa. My questions are also quite similar to my colleagues. I mean, Chair, at the ANC Gauteng conference, you put a lot of emphasis on your plans for the 2024 elections, and you were saying that you know, there's little time going into those elections. How will you ensure? I mean, you're saying that you have the 50% majority, but you know, it's not the 50% majority that you want. You want more than that. You know, what are the plans for you to ensure that you can reclaim your power, you know, by large margins in Gauteng, especially at a time where, you know, there are critics saying that the chances of ANC retaining 50% majority is quite slim. At the same time, you had a PEC meeting. In terms of the meeting, I may be moving a bit forward. There's a lot of concern that, you know, you will become premier now. Who then takes over from you as the education MEC? You know, what are the conversations there when it comes to, you know, who's most likely to take over your role? You know, what kind of leader in the PEC would you then be selecting, you know, to take over? You know, what are the names that you are touting at the moment? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I am Goskona Duma from Eyewitness News. Just a quick question. I think Mbali is starting, but I'll just try to be more direct. Will there be a cabinet reshuffle ahead along with the installation of a new premier? What criteria will you be using to deploy, if any, new MECs? And just lastly, will you be incorporating members of the Tripartite Alliance, even from organizations such as the SACP, which have been heavily criticizing you?
Hello, my name is Tamara Siri. I'm from Bowek Inn, and I just wanted to ask, with Chair becoming premier, when can Gauteng expect to see a female premier?
We heard it.
You'll
We heard
answer
it.
it.
You were still in primary school. Most probably. There's an afterthought question this side. Yeah.
No, I'm covered. Mine was to check if there's going to be a reconfiguration of our cabinet after the Premier is elected. So I'm covered.
So some girl we are covered. The press conference is not a
it's
press
covered
conference.
as well.
Without you asking questions.
My question is simple. You are the new Premier. The cabinet reshuffle is definitely on the cards. Just let the citizens of Gauteng have a glimpse of what you are thinking, particularly when it comes to cabinet. Are we going to be seeing a return of the likes of Dr. Bandile Masubu? Is the likes of Lesefo Makubela getting a promotion to human settlements? Is Mandile moving to Department of Infrastructure? What's going on in terms of cabinet? Nomanto Raluku Kungomo was MEC of Education for a mere few hours, and you were brought back into that particular portfolio. Is she finally getting the little babies at education?
I nearly thought you would say Nomantu van Royen. Kotatsu, I can see you want to ask and Pule. Those are the last things, yeah.
Yeah, just to add to my colleague and friend Sam Gele's question, the future of Mr. Pakstow, where does it end?
I know if I opened for some girl, we were going to ask these difficult questions. Pule?
Yeah, simply just adding to my colleague Samke and brother. There's of course talks around Jacob Mabulo as well being reshuffled and him being, switched out of office. What are the conversations around there, and how much backlash have you been receiving? Comrades in the movement cooperating, telling that they have to be reshuffled.
Okay. Nopala?
Okay. No, thank you very much. Comrade Lesefo. Firstly, maybe let me start with this one, and I know that the Premier-elect, or our candidate, Comrade Panyaza, will come back to it. When there is a new Premier, he comes with his own cabinet. I think we must also agree to that. It can't be that, and he must be given space to do so, in consultation with the leadership of the ANC. And it can't be that there's preconceived ideas or want to direct the leadership of the ANC and the Premier of how to go and how to go about doing it. And we are hoping that you are not, some of you, you're not lobbied to come in and put the leadership of the ANC under pressure. Because even if we have the new Premier, he will bring his own cabinet. Even the President is the same. So let's allow this leader of the ANC to execute his work and in consultation with the leadership of the ANC. No one, everybody gets deployed in the ANC. And deployment should be respected and be taken as such. It's deployment. No one owes any position in the ANC government. Awuna muto owns tulo mo ANC. From the Premier himself, he's deployed by the ANC to any other person that will be deployed. That person will be deployed by the ANC. And I think we must understand it as such. Because the day we believe a person owns a position is the day they will kill each other for positions. And it must never be allowed. So the Premier will give us his cabinet once he's ready. And we believe he's going to deploy men and women who are capable. Those who've been in the ANC for long, those who understand the cultures, those who must serve our people, those who understand that we must move with speed, Comrade Premier. And we call him Comrade Premier already, we say exercise. We, as the African National Congress, found ourselves negotiating with the oppressors. We did that. People who molested our kids, people who killed our nation, people who took our pride. We did that. We did that purely because we understood the ANC as an instrument of the liberation. And we understood the ANC as the only hope of our people at the time. And we knew we went into into bed with the enemy, because we respected the fact that we are in politics. Today, when we are negotiating with, or engaging rather, with black parties, correct question rather about pride. But if our people are not served by the enemy, if our people are not, the service delivery is so poor in our communities, and we are engaged by other political parties, we shall engage them. Because historically the ANC is a very patient organization that does not only put its own or itself, or as you know, my name is TK, I'm not happy that so and so would have insulted me. What comes first to me is, are we going to be able to change the lives of people of Stwetla if we work with these comrades? And this is coalition, by the way. Even the vote of no confidence that would have happened in Johannesburg, it didn't come through the ANC. The speaker there in Johannesburg is not an ANC person. So anybody who is prepared to work with us in making sure that our communities are in a better position, we will work with them, irrespective of where they come from, how do they look like. And that's the ANC for you. Of course, we will not sit and some people say whatever they say to gain political strength or political gains. Ours is to service our people. So I want to say that we are not confused about people from time to time who would believe insults make them a better political organizations. We are convinced by people who have a clear agenda, and that agenda should be making sure that we put our people first. We have lost, we know why we lost the ground, comrades. The inward-looking ANC and how we've been able to really elevate it and make people not to see what we can do best, but we would have fought against each other for the longest of time. The people of Gauteng have made a lot of noise about issues of e-tolls, for instance, the issues of energy, the unemployment. So we know what are the issues that we must deal with. And I can assure you that we are working very hard, and we will work very hard in turning that corner. If you have majority of young people who are not working, you are definitely going to lose elections. Not because there is a better party, but people are looking upon you as the governing party to come up with solutions. And it will take the ANC to really deal with the issues of economic growth, and we must work very hard in making sure that we deal with this unemployment. The issues of energy are on top of our agenda. The issues of e-tolls are on top of our agenda. So, and the issues of unity of the African National Congress. That is why even when we go to this national conference, we are not preoccupied about anything else except the fact that we are looking at the unity of the ANC, starting from the national conference. So our people are not walking away from the ANC and voting for other parties. They just want the ANC to fix itself. And I think in Gauteng, we're on the right path. We have leadership that is willing to work very hard, but also which is fearless. But we don't confuse fearless with arrogance. We are not arrogant, but we are not scared to take decisions that will be for the people, except and really not ourselves as individuals. And I think, Comrade Chair, there are certain questions you would want to talk to.
I think those that were asked were directed now to Chair in terms of cabinet.
Imama yang lasa mato.
Kaloku ndifuna namla one day.